43.
If you are Linette, how should you approach this tactically, especially with the way Paolini started?
I mean, sometimes you just have to ride the wave of your opponent, don't you? I feel like Paolini at the moment is massively hitting a purple patch. I think that forehand line is going to be very important for Magda Linette because it gets the ball off Paolini's forehand and gets it on her backhand. And that's where I slightly favour Linette, that backhand to backhand cross-court battle. And one thing she might want to do, and one thing that she actually does very well, is look to change up the pace, the speed, the trajectory of the ball, because Paolini's a player who loves rhythm, and she needs to find a way to get her out of that rhythm, disrupt it. And seriously finding her stride at the moment, Paolini.
Oh, how about that for a return, though? Onto it in a flash, Linette. Again, came back too quick for Paolini to handle.
It's a very difficult shot to redirect. It was right to her feet, so she was quite rushed, didn't have a great deal of time.
Yes. Advantage, Paolini.
Just striking her forehand with so much freedom at the moment, Paolini. So really clean strike on the ball.
That's that backhand exchange you were talking about, but this time it's Paolini who comes out on top. And it is indeed a fourth straight game for the Italian. Things going the sixth seed's way so far, leads 4-1.
This is our test. This
time.
Probably feel a little hard done by here, Linette. A lot of these games have been hyper competitive, particularly the last one, but finds herself trailing 1-4.
Love 15.
Oh, again, just taking the ball so early. It's almost on the half volley. Nothing Linette can seemingly do.
Well, one thing she probably does need to focus on is upping that first serve percentage a little bit. She's only made 5 out of 15, and what that does is it puts her on the back foot from the very first ball after the serve.
You feel, in a way, I mean, it's not a natural game, but she's got Radwanska sat courtside, a little bit more variation to get Paolini out of this rhythm as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But you've got to start with the low-hanging fruit first, don't you? You know, you've got to tick off those basics, and a 38% first serve percentage is something that I'm sure these two will be discussing if it comes to it post-match.
She's only won 2 out of 10 points as well behind that second serve. Paolini being super aggressive off the second serve return. Not this time, though, for the Italian, and that's almost an angry forehand from Linette, swatting it away. There's a shot she has enjoyed all week, the forehand up the line. Served her well against Goff in the previous round. I just couldn't apply the finishing touch, Linette, and it's Paolini who steals the point.
Yeah, she's someone who feels so comfortable at the net, Paolini, and that comes off the back of all of the doubles that she's played alongside Sara Errani in recent months and years. Very little reaction time here, but she didn't panic, kept that racket in front.
Advantage.
Stops the rot. Vital service hold for Linette. First game in 5. Finding some precious first serves finally in that game. I know what a fighter she is. I know it's talking about her attitude when she faced Coco Gauff in terms of how she is off the court. Very humble, very down to earth, but she said she struggles to separate the emotions of the sport from being on the court and off the court, and whether she has success or failure. Something she's had to work very hard on. She's talked a lot about keeping a small team around her, and she often says, however their mood is, that is what her mood will be. So I'd imagine it's important to have positive people around it.
It's so easy, isn't it, to define yourself by wins and losses, because, well, ultimately it is sometimes what the media do. You know, there's so much media scrutiny that accompanies this world that these tennis players live in, and you do have to be so strong-willed and so resilient.
It's such an all-encompassing sport as well, isn't it? So often we talk about how little they have for an off-season. Very little time to decompress or take themselves away from the sport.
It's interesting, every now and then Linette changes up her return position. That last one, she was a meter or so inside the baseline. Just keeps her opponent honest, so they don't quite know what's coming up next.
You
can see a little frustrated. The bigger points in this opening set so far have gone Paolini's way. It's electric tennis, though, isn't it? Both players refusing to budge, both right on top of the baseline. It's Paolini, though, who wins that little duel and moves to a 5-2 lead in this first set. Incidentally, Paolini, if she was to win this match, it'll be a 4th consecutive win. And it'll be the first time she's done that since her run to the Wimbledon final. It is amazing just reminding yourself that she made both the French Open and the Wimbledon final. Quite extraordinary. Such a special year. Of course, winning in Dubai and winning gold at the Olympics as well, alongside Irani, as well as the Billie Jean King Cup to round things off.
Well, what was most special about it, in particular that run in SW19 on the grass, was that she hadn't won a match on grass prior to Eastbourne, where of course she made the semi-finals. She was very much known as more of a clay court player.
Oh, some backhand on the run from Linette.
Body long.
A lovely 1-2 punch, and starting to find a bit more of a rhythm with that first serve, Linette. Love service hold. So the big question is whether or not Paolini can serve this opening set out. Oh, it's a ripper of a forehand, laced with spin and speed. Direction wasn't bad either.
And if you look at her margin for error, it's not as if she's particularly hitting it that close to the lines. There's still a decent chunk of wiggle room there.
Not enough.
Overall, when you look at the numbers, as you referenced earlier, big difference. First serve percentage, she certainly helped herself out, 71%. Linette below 50%.
Body long.
Here are 3 set points for the world number 7. The first set rich in quality from Jasmine Paolini, finding some fire, especially with the forehand. She takes the opening set 6-3, a set away from a place in the Miami Open semi-finals.
Well, that is undoubtedly one of the best sets of tennis I think I've seen Jasmine Paolini play all year. And as you mentioned, much of that has to do with the way that she's striking her forehand, in particular, just so much heaviness off the ground, and she's winning that forehand to forehand battle, keeping her unforced error count low as well, and not aiming too close to the line. So she's playing very much within herself at the moment. Really good variety, forcing some errors from Linette, but the key issue there has been that first serve percentage, under 50%. It has crept up in the latter stages of that first set, but at one point it was hovering around that 30% mark, and that's going to be a key thing for her to improve in this second set.
Second set. Next. Fifteen.
Immaculate length from Paolini.
That's got to be a little bit disconcerting for Linette, because what she was probably intending to do in that rally is get it off the Paolini forehand, which has been firing on all cylinders. But when she also strikes her backhand with that much quality, then that's a bit of a problem.
That's something a little different from Linette. By finding a first serve. 4 first serves in a row now for the Pole. It's something that's seemingly done so well this evening, Paolini. I mean, can't remember too many short balls from the Italian. It's just been relentless.
Yeah, hitting to such a good depth as well, and with so much variety. There was a big difference between the trajectory of the ball with those last 2 forehands. The second one massively flattened out.
That's fabulous length again from the Italian. It's been so impressive so far. It's still got a fair way to go to try and finish this match off, but the omens look good, incidentally, for Jasmine Paolini.
And it also just looks like she's massively playing within herself at the moment. It's not flashy. She's not trying to go for the line. She's not whacking winners out of nowhere. It's very thoughtful, constructed points. You can almost see her mind working. Paolini.
And that's a record, incidentally, this year. She's won the first set, 9-1. She's only won 11 matches throughout 2025. Also, incidentally, Linette, when she's dropped the first set against a top 10 opponent, she's 1-27. So, odds stacked against the pole right now. So she's just not looked flustered at all. Just wonder how much she's been helped by that. The match in the previous round, Osaka hit such a big ball. Being able to redirect that strike, might feel like she has a little more time today against Linette. Not that Linette doesn't hit hard, but comparatively.
Yeah, and she's also had a lot of time as well to now adapt to the conditions. You know, we're in the quarterfinal stage. She said after her first match, and actually mentioned it after a second match as well, that it did take a bit of time to adapt. The courts play very differently to Indian Wells.
It's got to be that good right now from Linette. Just wonder whether that is an option for her, taking the ball even earlier off the return, because it just feels like she's losing the vast majority of the longer rallies, the baseline duels.
Yeah, certainly, and she has to do something a little bit different, because whatever strategy she tries from the baseline, Paolini at the moment has an answer. We've seen her come forward a little bit in the last game or so, so that's something that she might want to consider doing more of. Just try and finish those points a little bit more quickly.
Suddenly, though, Linette back in this game, having been down 40 love.
Advantage Linette.
A chance then for Linette. Chance to get the break straight back in the second set. Frustration must be growing for Linette, because she's had a few break points, but Paolini hasn't really given her a sniff on the majority of them.
Advantage Paolini.
Yeah, you just feel that she hasn't really taken her opportunities, and that was a great example of that. A second serve with not that much pace or spin down the middle of the court, middle of the box rather.
It's a sweet strike off the forehand. Again, went the scenic route there, Paolini, having been up 40 love, pegs back to deuce, saves the break point, but does in the end back up the break.
And that's what the best players do, isn't it? You know, it's only natural to have those slight concentration dips, especially when you're playing such good tennis. But the best players in the world refocus very quickly.
15 love. Very love.
There's just not a second thought of stepping backwards, is there? If you're Paolini, any opportunity to take the ball on, to open the court up.
Yeah, this is sublime tennis. This is the best I've seen Paolini play so far this season. Just think she's gained so much confidence from that win against Osaka. Parlez-vous?
40-15.
It's better serving from Linette. I know that she's an excellent competitor. She will keep working. But a little bit of a mountain to climb right now for the pole. Down a set and a break.
Time.
Just looking to break new ground here as an Italian. Paolini would be the first ever Italian woman semi-finalist at the Miami Open since its inception in 1985.
Love. 31.
Yeah, Linette knows if she has to turn this match around, has to take advantage of those types of second serves she's getting a look at. Paolini's won 53% points behind the second serve. It's more like it. A lot on the second serve for Paolini, who's going to be a little concerned. First serve percentages just started to drop.
30.
Incidentally, if you are just wondering why this match is being played on Grandstand and also why it's still going, I want to be tuning in right now for what was supposed to be the second quarter-final, Sabalenka against Zheng. Well, there's about 4 hours of rainfall. It's a quality point from Linette.
And that's the side to attack, that Paolini backhand, because you're likely to get a much shorter response. She might just slice it on that backhand side, and we're seeing much more rushes to the net from Linette. Didn't see many of those in the first set.
This time it's Linette with great length.
Advantage.
Yeah, she's got to use that forehand down the line as early as possible in the rally, in my opinion, because more often than not, she's not winning that forehand-to-forehand cross-court battle. Change things up, get it onto the backhand of Paolini.
Yet again, it's a break point for Linette, but once more just wasn't allowed to really get her teeth into the rally.
Yes.
That's been the story of the match so far, hasn't it? Paolini just really stepping up in those key moments.
Oh, just about finds the line. A beautifully constructed point, though, from the Italian.
Advantage. Paolini.
And the fine margin seemingly going Paolini's way. We've seen it all before, haven't we? And you can understand the frustration for Linette.
Paolini leads by 3 games to 1.
She's now 1 from 5 on the break points, but so many of those break points have come in different games. So many times Paolini has been able to hold.
Well, that's the thing. So many times she really couldn't really do much because Paolini just stepped up her game.
It's Anyway, I was talking earlier on about the 4-hour rain delay, which is why we're watching this one on grandstand. Sabalenka Zheng will be on Stadium Court a little later on. They follow the match between Musetti and Djokovic.
Feeling the pressure now on that second serve is Linette. She's only one point behind the second delivery in this set.
Just wonder whether it's just been one too many cuts for Linette. I think she would have felt that previous game was a great opportunity, and of course the previous game to that on the Paolini serve she also had a chance and just hasn't been able to take her chances. It's not like she's played poor, Pippa. It's just been in those big moments that haven't quite gone her way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think in that first set there were definitely some improvements she could make in terms of that first serve percentage, but she's tried a few different things in this second set. She's tried to change things up.
Paolini breaks again, and the hole gets deeper for Magda Linette. Looking to try and reach a first semi-final of 2025, Paolini. And that finish line is now in sight. Set and 4-1. About the finish line being in sight for the Italian, but still needs to get over that line. Healthy 4-1 lead though in the second set.
Thirty 15. 30 all.
Oh, bend it like Linette. She somehow guarded that one onto the line.
40.
Wasn't a lot of room here. Just wonder whether Paolini could have reached this. No, not sure.
Well, that was exactly the shot to play, wasn't it? With Paolini being only 5'4".
Net.
Another break point then for Linette, and kind of feels like this is now or never. That's another big serve at a big time. How well has she played the break points?
Yeah, and she's been so dialed in and so focused throughout the vast majority of this match, Paolini.
She's broken in her opening service game, so lost her first break point. But other than that, since then, saved 6 in a row. She's going to have to save another really good positive return from the pole.
Advantage Linette.
And not the first time as well that she's been broken early on here in Miami. Of course, went 3-love down against Rebecca Schrankova in the first round. Managed to win that one in straight sets, 4-4.
Yes.
Another break point, another first serve found. I understand Linette trying to take it on.
Advantage Linette.
One from 8. Break point conversion for Linette.
Advantage Paolini.
And bearing in mind, she has only converted 1 point with the 8 opportunities. Even though the scoreline is, 6-3, 4-1, it actually has been a whole lot closer than the scoreline would suggest.
Once again, able to get out of jail. Paolini saving multiple break points. All the big points going her way.
Paolini leads by 5 games to 1.
And even though the scoreline may well slightly flatter Paolini, what a great position she finds herself in. So much of that due to the positive tennis that she has played tonight.
ready, love?
Just long.
Your balls, please.
She's not done yet, Linette.
By
Quick
5
fire love
games.
service game for the pole, but it's a long, long way back. Paolini in control, a set in 5-2.
Instant hydration. Enter for a chance to join Electrolyte for a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Coachella Music and Arts Festival.
Serving for the match here, and that's a fine way to start.
15.
Talk about quality on that second serve. Got real depth on it, managed to jam Linette, so she couldn't quite figure out whether she wanted to hit a forehand or a backhand.
13th winner, by the way, off the forehand, just the one off the backhand.
15 now.
I'm sure she'll be very pleased with her doubles partner's performance.
Fifteen, 30.
Oh,
30 out.
just about finds the tee. Again, it's been the case throughout this match when she's had her back against the wall, been trailing in the game. She's found a big serve.
Actually only her second ace of the match, but she has served brilliantly.
Yeah, that's been the example, hasn't it? It's been the serve to set up the forehand that
Yeah.
we've seen time and time again. And she does so there. As a 14th forehand winner, gives her a match point. Jasmine Paolini continues to break new ground. Becomes the first ever Italian woman into the Miami Open semi-finals. It's her first semi-final of the year for the world number 7.